Trajan's column sits in the center of a room that is all copies of major monuments of Europe. There is, inside the column, the only original object in that room, which is this chimney, this industrial chimney. And that chimney is really quite extraordinary. It was built by the same people that were building the chimneys for Britain's Industrial Revolution. And it's really an unacknowledged object of the collection.
Okay, here we are.
Okay.
It's in a way a reverse chimney. Instead of expelling pollutants, it has received them, almost sucked them in. And so it has in it a record of all the pollution that has entered into that museum. The decision to clean Trajan's column was actually quite hard, and it sort of came to me. It's almost like, tried to say, but it came to me in a sleepless night. I mean, I just couldn't sleep, just thinking about what was going to, what I was going to do. And I was a bit afraid, because this was a very large object. I'd never done something like that before. What you see in the object is the dust. That's what makes the piece, gives it texture and gives it presence, is really the dust. And that dust has been sitting there since 1872. So for me, it's interesting to also reflect on on the place of dust and the place of pollution in our society, because we act as if we can get rid of it, but we can really only push pollution around. So when it's adhered to the surface of objects, we tend to understand it as something that is that we can just disregard, and that we should be looking beyond it to the object itself. So part of what this work is about allowing us to see the pollution, but paradoxically the only way to see it is to actually remove it and to have it standing next to the object itself. Part of, I think, coming to grips with environmental change and with the history of pollution is going to be sort of developing a different relationship to pollution, acknowledging the fact that we need to make a place for it in culture. We can't sort of keep thinking that we can make it disappear.
This is bigger and thicker than it seems. And heavier.
One of you or two of you will need to come down the ladder and help us because there's a big distance between your level and ours.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Watch your eyes, actually.
So they're coming down the middle one?
No, it's coming down the
Yeah,
side.
get sucked down with it.
Cover your eyes.
Yeah, it's all good.
Ready?
Yeah. So what?
Oh, hang on, the grip.
Where?
Stop.
Slowly. Slowly.
All right, Sarah.
Everybody came through. We had a lot of real roadblocks, and then we overcame them because everyone sort of came together and was able to get it done.
So this is one cut.
Pollution is one of our major monuments, one of the major monuments of our civilization, and it should stand next to the other great achievements of culture. So we need to make a place for it. We need to have a relationship to it that makes a place for it in culture. I think we have the technical I think we have the technological expertise to stop making pollution at the levels we are today, but I think culturally we are not there yet. This is more a cultural decision, I think, at this point, than a technological decision. So, and until we make a place for pollution within culture and understand it as part of our culture, everyone's culture, then I think we will just not be able to gain the upper hand. Nobody sees pollution. Recovering a sense of the air as tainted is something really important, because we think it's somebody else's problem at this point. I found out that the Romans polluted the atmosphere of the world, and that pollution is still around today. That just blew my mind. Romans were around 2,000 years ago, and their pollution is still here. So, I mean, it's more durable than their monuments. It's not just about whether the object is beautiful or not. I think hopefully people will stop to reflect about what this object is and what it's made out of and why it's there. If you can ask those sorts of questions of this particular object, like, why is the dust important? Why is it being displayed? Then you can ask that about the facade of your own house and the buildings that you see and the cities we live in and the air we breathe. I think if we don't ask those questions, then we don't stand a chance.